And I had some good news today. Sorry, I had some good news yesterday. So in July of this year, I applied for my residence card because it ran out. That was July of this year. It took me 5 months. And yesterday, I got a phone call saying that my card had now been processed and to go and collect it from the public bureau. Things get lost in translation. Or if you have somebody who can speak Chinese, it still gets lost in translation. Every time I went in there asking, have you heard anything? Is there any news? They would always say, well, it takes almost a year to process. And we're only doing the processing from December of last year, which was not encouraging to hear. Sometimes you can find the whole process is really frustrating. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. Things work here are very efficient, but they can also take a long time, especially when dealing with foreigners. They obviously have to look into your past and make sure that you're not someone who shouldn't be here. So that's probably why they take so long. And it was a renewal, not an application. I was supposed to needed to go back to Europe this January. And the fact is, it would have been impossible to leave the country unless, of course, you have your card. I can leave the country, but coming back would mean that I would have to get myself a family visa, which then would not allow me then to work because you can't work on a family visa. So when you apply, you go into the Public Bureau of Security and then you submit then the application form that you have to fill in, providing all the documents and details. It's about 5 pages or so. And then in return, they give you a piece of paper which they stamp. This piece of paper you keep in your passport because this allows you to stay in China legally because your card, your physical card actually is run out. But this piece of paper is used as a substitution for your card until the application comes through. It's a very, very slim chance that it may get rejected, but there's always that chance. Apparently, the new card looks like an ID card. They just called me just a split second as I'm making this video, telling me, come in tomorrow, don't come in today. Once you fill all the paperwork out, of course, then you have to wait. They tell you that you may have to wait 3 months, 4 months, which was not far off, 5 months. Made phone calls several times to inquire, where is it in the position, where is it in the system, but they can't tell you anything. The only thing I can suggest if anybody's applying for is just be patient. Allow yourself a long time, If you're going to apply for a green card, overall, I think the original time, which was back in the day, it was more difficult then. I think the whole overall process almost took 2 years to apply. Whatever job you do, you may be tied to the company or tied to the school. If you're a teacher, then you may be tied, the visa will be tied to your employment. You cannot work outside of that visa. In other words, if you work for somebody else, then the school has a right or the company has a right to terminate the visa. You lose your visa, of course, you have to leave. If you're on a work permit or residence permit, then you're allowed to work wherever you want. You have the same rights to work as anybody else. You're not bound to the employer or bound to the school. So that's the benefits of having residence, permanent residence. I would recommend it to anybody if you're going to stay here for a long time. So the reason why I'm making this was because on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, I had the news come through that my card is in process and it's waiting to be picked up. So as we say, or my wife would say, that was a bit of a Christmas Day present. That was a present. And the funny thing is, she mentioned this the day before, saying, wouldn't it be good if your card arrives on Christmas Day? And lo and behold, got a phone call yesterday saying that the card has arrived. So yes, it is a Christmas present in the sense that it solves a lot of problems, a lot of issues of getting around. Yeah, I need it. We still need to come back and forth. We still have family and friends here. So you have to keep all your options open. Going to pick up my new card. Anyway, that's it. That's the effort that you have to put in to get your green card. It's worth it. There are a set of rules. You have many benefits, of course. To this you have, well, I already have them, a social security, leaving the country, coming in and out of the country as many times as you want. The ability to work as several employees is the most important thing, because once you hit the ripe old age of 60, then you're done for. When it comes to university, you're over. But if you have a permanent residence card, then that allows you then to go and work for anybody else who will take you on at your age. So that's the benefits. A lot of friends of mine are here, but they are on just normal visa, work visas or family visas. It's very complicated. But I did remind my friend that, as your age ticks by, you have to prepare yourself for the inevitability that once you hit 60, you can't work anymore. A lot of my friends, for some reason, just seem to bury their head in the sand. I don't know why they do. They just think everything will be okay, everything will be all right. Not that simple here. There are a lot of rules, a lot of bureaucracy, and they are very, very stringent on rules. For instance, if you stay over one day on your visa, just one day or a few hours, then your chances of re-entry or getting a new visa to come back to China is virtually impossible. Hope you enjoyed this video, just give you an insight of the ups and downs of getting a green card. But yeah, to live here, it makes life much easier. To get it initially, it's a pain in the ass. It takes you a long time. Like I said, it took me about 18 months, I think, the initial first time round. And according to the rules which I have, this is the rules they give you, this time I only need to put it in a month before it runs out. That's a long, long way away. That's 10 years from now. There you go. Insight to getting a permanent residence card or renewing it.